So there are many visual skills that are needed for reading and learning, for working on a computer, for playing sports, for driving. When we read, we need to identify letters. We need to string them together to create words. We need to point our eyes in. We need to fixate. What is fixate? It's a lock on, okay? I'm looking at you. You're looking at me, okay? Everyone else is gone, okay? When you're reading something, you have to look at the word, okay? And then you have to be able to let go of that and then jump to the next word, okay? Or the next phrase, and then you have to jump to the next one. When you get to the end of line 1, you have to jump back all the way. You have to maintain that fixation as opposed to drifting. You have to jump from one word to the next. That's called a saccade. You have to track across a page. Those are pursuits. You have to jump from the end of one line to the start of the next. You have to point your eyes together. You have to converge. You have to sustain it. You have to focus like a camera. You have to sustain that focus. What would happen if you take that camera and you focus it, but the mechanism doesn't hold it, and now it starts to defocus? How's the picture going to come out? Blurry. Okay? You have to have good eye movements. You have to have form perception and figure and ground, and all of these factors. Vision. Okay, there's more area in the brain that's dedicated to vision than any other sense modality combined. Hearing, smell, touch, etc. So you've got a peripheral system, and that's what we did before when I had you cover one eye. You saw the central, but you saw that there was a periphery. Okay, and then I had you do the same thing with the other. So when you're reading and you're looking at a word, you not only have to look at that word, you have to use a bit of your peripheral vision. So you know how much to move over. Okay, if it's a long 10-letter word, I have to move about a third into that word. If you've got a short word like house or the, I have to move a lot less. So I'm constantly using my central vision and my peripheral system. Okay? When you're driving your car, you're not only looking straight ahead, you have to bring in a lot of information. Is there somebody that's drifting into my lane? Is there somebody that's not stopping at a stop sign? Is there a child that's running into the road after a ball? So we've got our peripheral system and our central system. The peripheral system says, where is it relative to me? And our central system is called identification, is what is it? Gives us information about detail. So sight is the ability to see individual letters, and vision happens in the brain rather than in the eyes. So we've got a visual skill pyramid, okay? Healthy eyes and brain. That's really important, and that's what most eye doctors are looking for. They want to make sure that the person doesn't have a retinal detachment or glaucoma or a cataract or diabetic retinopathy. So that's really basic. And then the next level is the ability to use my two eyes together as a team and to be able to track across and to be able to physically focus so that now I can have good visual perception and now I can come up with new concepts. That's called cognition. An estimated 10 million children suffer from vision problems, and 1 out of 4 children have an undiagnosed vision problem, and this is not in your population, this is in the general population. So much more so in the population that you serve. These are not problems that glasses can solve. Of those children or adults diagnosed with learning disability, more than 60% of these people have a vision problem that hasn't been diagnosed. So vision is our dominant sense. 80% of all sensory information is visual. Vision gathers more data per unit time. It enables us to see things off at a distance. Vision tends to override the other senses. What I'd like you to do is all stand up. And what I'd like you to do, please, is put heel to toe. What do you feel right now? What do you feel? Yeah, okay. You have to hold the table. Does everybody see it? Let's make fun of her. So, why?
It's my shoes.
Sure. And denial is a river. So the point here is, this is like the stress of having to school, the stress of having to be called out of class to go to my reading specialist. Okay? Now what I'd like you to do is I want you to close your eyes. What's happening?
Birdie's right down the line to us.
What's happening?
He's feeling calm. Yeah.
Why? Did you lose muscle in your feet all of a sudden?
You can't see.
We took away one variable, your visual system. Now I don't know where I am in space. I'm reeling. Have a seat. So our vision system guides the broad spectrum of human abilities, walking, or judging terrain, or maneuvering between obstacles, positioning our car when we drive or when we're parking, judging how fast is that person or a ball coming toward me, scanning the crowd, figure, ground. It alerts us to danger. So the mystery is one of the gee, we've just broken down this word in the first paragraph, and now we have exactly the same word later on, and it's kind of like never saw this word before, and you have to break it down all over again. What do we call the little words? Sight words. Why? Because you should be able to see them, okay, and just boom, you're there, so that you can allocate more energy to those longer words if you have to break those down. Okay? So if a child has difficulty in this area, self-esteem starts to plummet. The child thinks that everyone else sees this way, so they don't know to tell a parent. They think that they're the only one. The child is told to try harder and accused of being lazy or rebellious when they refuse to keep doing their homework. Like they're there for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then they'll start tapping their feet, or they're scratching themselves, or they just want to avoid this. I have to go to the bathroom. They have to do everything else.